Hello and welcome again. I'm very excited about this project because we're going to build a complete MERN projects. So in the previous two video, we're going to make our home page. You can see this is our home page, and then on the second part, we created our menu items page. So here we will have all the menu. You can categorize based on their category. You can see this is working appropriately. Then we have filtering options. You can filter based on ascending, descending. You can filter based on pricing. So you can see this is working properly. And here we also have a awesome paginations. If you hit, then you can see the changes. Here are the changes affecting. So our two part has done, and today we're going to create our third part. And in this tutorial we're going to create our authentication systems, and for this we have a little bit changes here. This is login button. If you hit here, then a pop-up model will appear here, and you can create an account, or you can sign up your accounts using your email and password. So, and if you haven't an account, you can go to the sign up page, and here another system is enabled. You can just sign up using your Gmail accounts, and you can also implement GitHub login and Facebook login system, but we are going to log into this profile using this. But before that, let me log in manually. If we go to choose this email and choose a wrong password, so let me choose a wrong password. If you hit here, then you can see a error has written here. You can see you have to provide a correct username passwords. But okay, let's log into this account with a correct passwords and hit login. It says login successful, and hit OK. So if login successful, here you can see a profile is pop up here. If you haven't an image, then a avatar image will be shown here. If you hit here, then you will have others options. You can go to profile page, you can go to order page, you can just go to setting, logouts, and everything. So let's check the profile page. So if you go profile page, you can update your profile, you can update your name, and you can just use an image to update these images. But let me go there, and if you want to log out, then hit this logout button. Then this account is log out successfully. Now again, let's log in using a Gmail accounts. So this is my accounts, and I'm going to log in with it. So if you log in, then you can see my profile is here and it's working properly. If you hit again, then you can see others options. You can update your profile, you can just go to the order page and do everything. So our main task is we're going to create this type of thing. When you click, then this type of effect will be there. If you just log out, then you can see it says you have to log in. If you want to go to sign up page, then this is the sign up page, and you can also back to your home page easily. Okay, that's our target. And in this video we also implement Firebase authentications and also work with private routing. So that's why hope this tutorial will be very interesting for you. Okay, so how you can get started. If you have created the two part on your machine, you can open the folder from here. So where you are creating folder, but for now we are going to show you from where you can get started with me. You will go to this repository, and from here what you have to do, you have to actually clone a branches from this repository. So here you can see this is the main branches, and if you scroll a little bit here, you can see a shop page. That means menu page. Here actually you have to clone this repository. So how you can clone this? Firstly, from your desktop you will go to a folder directory. So let me go to a folder directory. So here in this a drive we have projects, and in this projects folder we are going to create a new folder for these projects. Okay, sorry, create a new folder, and the folder name would be authentications, or just name it anything. Maybe we can just name it auth. Okay, it's very simple, and we will go inside this folder. Now we will open it using our terminal, so that's why open in terminal. So if you do this, then you can see our project directory is a drive, then projects, then auth. Here we will clone this repository, actually the branches shop page. So that's why we'll type git clone, then we are going to copy the branch, so that's why B, and then we have to write the branch name. The actually branch name is shop page. If you make sure you are select the shop page, so if you do that, then you can just copy this and then paste it here. So this is git colon that means dash b means branch, and then this is the branch name. After then you have to copy this code. If you have created your projects with me, then you don't need to these steps. So now if you have to press enter, then it says the cloning starts. It takes a few seconds to clone these projects, but if you have already done with us for the menu page, then you don't need to do that. Okay, so this project is cloning done, and now we'll go to this specific projects directory. So that's why we'll copy this, and here we'll type cd, that means change directory, and paste it. Complete MERN project resource, press enter. Now we can open this project on VS Code, so that's why the command is code dot. Okay, so now you can see our project is here. So the very fast task is we have to make sure we will create a new branch, but it's not your step. I am going to organize this project, so that's why I am creating a new branches for every time so that it will be organized properly, but this step is not for you. So let me create a new branches, so that's why I will command. Okay, let me change the terminal. It's going to git bash, and I am very comfortable with this, so that's why first you will check git branches. Then you can see this is the shop branches, but now we will create another branches for this auth. So that's why we'll type git check out, then dash b, then we will have a branch name. The branch name would be authentication system. Okay, so that means we are creating a new branch and choosing to this specific branch. So that's why this command, if you press enter, then you can see here the branch name is authentication system right now. And if you check the status, so that's a git status. I'm covering, so nothing is committed. If you want to check branches, then git branch. I am showing you advanced thing, so that's why I'm doing this way. Now we can see a star chino is here, so that means our specific branches is active. So if you have this, then you can just clear it. So for now, let me clear it. So make sure you are starting from here. Firstly, you will open your projects on VS Code. After then, you have to go to the specific folder directory. The folder directory is food client. So that's why we will type cd, then food clients, press enter. Now our folder directory has changed. So here what we will do, firstly we'll have to command npm I, that means installation. So let me type npm install and press enter. So when you clone a repository on GitHub, then firstly your task is you have to make sure you have npm installed. So that's why the installation is packages is completed, and then what we will do, we will clear it. So that's why clear commands and then npm run dev actually. So this is a local host URL, and you can just press Ctrl and click here. Then if you do this, then you can see our projects is here. This project has the very simple, we have home page and we have actually the menu page, but here you can see contact, and if you click nothing happens. So that's why we're start from here, we're going to create a login page from here. So that's why our task is there. So how you can do that? Firstly, you have to modify this button a little bit. So that's why from this, let me close this. From these clients, 2D clients, we will go to the src, and from here we have components. So the components is inside this navbar. We will go to inside this navbar, and if you scroll a little bit, let me just collapse it. Then if you scroll a little bit, you will have this. Actually, this is a button. This is a button, and we will modify this button a little bit. So how you can do that? We'll just make sure it will be a button. So that would be a button. Okay, and still nothing changes much. Okay, so instead of bi cell phone, we are going to use a icons. So let's go to the React icons. We'll search something log users. If you search user, then you can find this type of users. So if a user, or you can just use this type of users or this type of users. Okay, let me copy this on actually and go at the top. Just instead of bi these icons, we'll paste this icon, and then we'll back here, we'll copy this line, and here actually we'll replace this icon. So if you replace this icon, then back here you can see this is the icons, but here we need to modify the text. The text is login. Okay, so here you can see this is login, but if you click nothing happens. So here in our main websites, when you hit, then a pop-up will shown here, and it says you can log into your account. So but in our websites it's not working. That's why we're going to build that. Okay, so for this we're using Daisy UI. So we're going to Daisy UI websites, and from here we're going to click this components tab. From these components, if you just scroll a little bit, then you can see something like model. So the model is very helpful for this purpose. So here you can see model dialog model. If you hit, then you can see this type of model. If you scroll a little bit, then you will have this type of model. If you just click outside, then the model has gone. Then here the model with a close button at the corner. So this is another model type, and this is custom with, here's responsive type model. So you can choose any of this. So you can choose any of this. So I think here we are implementing this model. Okay, here we will have a cross at the top, or you can just use the responsive one. Okay, let's start with this responsive one. So to use this model, what we will do, we'll just hit this JSX. Here you can see we have a button components. Okay, that's why we have already created our button, so that's why we are only copy this on click. So copy this on click, and here actually we have button. Let me add a comment here, login button. we will set the one click here. We will copy this on click functions from here and close, copy these lines and paste it here. Actually you can see, let me just see it properly. We just mentioned this, and after then what you will have to do, we will just paste it anywhere. So we'll copy this dialog and then you can paste it after this button. Okay, so if you just format this code, then you can see we have a button and the button have on click here, and then we have a dialog here. This is the dialog. So if you do this and back to your website, okay, hit here, now a dialog box is here and here is a close button. But what's the issues? Actually we're going to create this type of form, so that's why we're not making this dialog here. The dialog box will be others, so that's why we're going to create a new component, sorry, and that would be modal.jsx. So that's why we're creating a specific components so that we can do customize a little bigger picture. So that's why we're creating this modal.jsx. So we'll just type rafc, and then instead of copying this dialog, we'll actually cut it, and then we will go to the modal.jsx, and there what you will do, we will just paste it here. Okay, now what if we instead of this, under this button, we can just paste this model component. So that's why we will just call model and import it. Okay, now if you do this, still our projects will work. So hit here, then still you can see this is working. Let me show you again. Okay, this is working. So if it's working, then we can customize our model sections, and for this actually what we will do, so here we will modify. So let me just check it on small devices, and the model is when you hit it at the small fix, it's on the bottom side. So that's why here the model is defined by default button. We can change it middle. Okay, fine, then we'll have okay this, and then we'll have the model box here, h3 is here, then we have this text, and here it says if there is a button in the form, it will be close the model. So that's why this model. Okay, so if you close, okay, let me close this. What you will do, actually we need a from, so that's why we are going to go to the Daisy UI, and let me copy a from there. So from where our from is, actually if you scroll a little bit, then you will find hero sections, and there you will see a from is there. We can just use this from. So that's why here's this JS6, and from here you can see this thing we have from this. So we'll copy the whole from sections. So copy this home opening and the sorry, this from opening and from ending. We'll copy everything, and instead of this, actually instead of this, we'll paste it here, and let me format this code. And here we have to add another thing, so we can just do it here. We will have a action, so that would be here. Actually the one was method dialog, so method dialog, we can just copy this dialog. So if you do this, let's check how it's going. If you hit, then this type of form is created, but we don't need this text and this thing. This is very old, so that's why we'll copy, we'll delete this h3 and this p tag. Okay, so now let's check here. Okay, we need this text, so that's why we'll copy this text, and after this from actually, so let me close all these stuffs. So after this from, we will have a h3, and then we'll just define please log in, and here we will add a class name that would be like font bold and then text lg. Okay, so let's back. Now our projects, okay, this is fine, but here is unnecessary space at the top, so we have to fix that. So how you can fix that? Actually, to fix this, look, this is the from, this is our from, and after this we have actions. So model actions, and here we have unnecessary space. You can just inspect it and can check it. So let me refresh it and go to the elements tab, and from here after this form we have from actions, and here you can see we have unwanted margin, so at the top. So if you just close this, then you can see it's working. So that's why we are remove this margin from the modal actions. So this is the specific div, and from here we will just define empty, that means margin top, and we'll define it 0. Okay, so if you do this now, I think this is fine. So we have email passwords and this is login, so we need a little bit customizations. So what we can do it firstly, let's customizations this color. So here we will have a button. Instead of button, we can use a input field, and so let me delete this, and we have to define slash here. Then what we will define, we will just define type would be submit. As we are using form, we will have submit, and here we will define a value that would be login. So that's why use a string value here, login, and let's check. It's still same, but we need to customize the color, so that's why we don't need busy primary. We will define busy, that would be green. So this is our colors, so this is okay, but let me add text white here. So this button is done, we have this. Okay, after then what we can do, we need some we need this text and some things, so that's why after this password, did we have forget password? So yeah, forget password is there, so we don't need that, need to worry about that. Forget passwords here, let me define a little bit space at the top, so margin top maybe 1 is okay to the forget password sections. Okay, fine. Then after this we would okay, after this login button we will have this text, so we will copy this text. So let me after this button, actually after this input field, let me just paste it. Okay, we need to define a div or paragraph here, so inside this paragraph we'll just paste it. So now let me check it. So here is the text, but we have to modify it a little bit, so let me cut it, and here we are using a link components. That's why link we will import it from React router DOM, so maybe it's imported. No, so let's try again. maybe we can do it manually, so no problem. Import, then we have curly braces, then we have from, then React router DOM. Okay, then here we will type link. So we'll have a link here and we'll just paste sign up now here, and the two will have a specific page that would be sign up page. Okay, so that's something. Let's check it. Now we need to move it to the center, so that's why we will just add class name. The class name would be something text center, and we will add some space to the top and bottom, so that's why my2. Okay, let's check. Fine. Then we need to specify this is something, so that's why on this link we'll define class name, then we'll add underline, and then the text will be red. Then we'll define margin left, so margin left will be 1. Okay, I think this is done. And then the last one is we need some button like this. Okay, so that's why after this, but before that, let me add, I think this is submit button, so let me comment uh login button. Actually this is login button. So at the top of the login button we'll have something, so that's why let me comment here. We'll have error text here, will show error text here. Okay, that's fine. So now we'll close this form, and after closing this form we will take another div, and this div will have some button, so that's why let's take some button from the daisy UI. From the daisy UI side you will get button, so that's why just let me check where is button. This badge, and at the top we have buttons. So which type of button we need? Okay, if you scroll a little bit we can take this type of circle button, so you can see we have circle button here. That's why we can copy this type of button. Let me choose on, the button is the first one, and here uh, let me add a comment, social sign in or login. Okay, then inside this button we'll paste it, so let's check it. I just formatted the code. Okay, here is a cross sign, this is gone at the top, but we don't need to do that, so that's why what we will do, we will actually also, if let me change this here, we will or like to use Google, so from the, so let me just check it from Google logo, so that's why Google, here this is Google, we can just copy this and paste it inside this button. We have to import it, then I think this is fine. If you just hit, then you can see the Google is at the top, but we don't it at the top. So how to fix that? Here we have modal actions, so this is the primary, this is the main div, and here we'll actually need to define flex call. Then our next task is what we can do. We can do justify center. Okay, let's check. Now this button is here, the button is here. Let me copy this button for sometimes. We can add a little bit changes here. What we can do, we can just define button circle, then we can define on hover we will have basic green, then on hover text will be white. So let's check it. Now when you hover, it's affecting something like this. Okay, we can copy this button for 3 or 4 times. So copy it for 3 or 4 times. Maybe we have 3 times. Okay, that's why let me keep it 3 times. So the second one is about FB icon. So that's why you can just search Facebook and you can choose this type of pattern. So that's why you can copy this. So this one will be the second one. We have to import it. So that's why import it. Let me format this code. Then you can see the FB button is here. Then we need to GitHub button. So that's why GitHub. Then you can use this GitHub. Okay, change it here. Then we have to import it. I just imported. Now you will have all the buttons. So hit here, we will have all the buttons. For the next, actually we need to move it to the center position. So that's why we can simply target this div and add class name. The class name would be text center. Then let's see, here's on the center, we need some space. So that's why we'll define a space x3, and on the margin bottom we'll need a margin bottom. So that's why MB5. Okay, the form is created. So you can see we have email, we have passwords, we have login. And if this is okay, then we'll move to a interesting thing. Instead of using form this way, we can just modify this form using React hook form. So that's why we are using React hook form. If you search this React hook form or something, then you will just go to this website React hook form. So here we have demo. Then you can see, let's see the demo. Here you can just simply type your name. You can choose drop down easily, and you can just type something here and submit this button. If you any of this, you can just do type this type of validations if required. Okay, so that's why it is very handy. We can use these on. So that's why how to use this. Firstly we have to install it. So that's why get started, click here, and it says you have to copy this command and go to your terminal, then close your projects for now. So that's why terminate and then install it. Okay, so when it's installed you can clear this and then npm run dev again. Okay, so our projects will run. So it will be very handy to use. So why this is handy, so let me show you. Our project is refreshing, hit again. Okay, so how to use this? So we're using on JavaScript, so that's why we'll just click here. Look, we have to use form hook here. So we'll copy this line and then at the top this is model, and here we'll paste. We have to import this use from the hook form. So that's why we'll copy this line at the top and include it at the top. So if you do that, the next task is we have to copy this. Actually this is on click event, so that's why I'm pasting here. Then we don't need the watch. Okay, so then the next task is, look, inside this form we will have to define an handle submits. So we'll copy this code snippet. Inside this form we'll paste this. So where is our form? This is our form. You can see this is our form. This is our form. Here we will paste it, and then every time you take a input field and you can define a default value for this code. We can just copy this code, register example. So here we have from control at the, this one is for email. So let me define it email. email, and the second one is for password. So let me add comment password. Okay, so where we'll paste, we'll actually paste this inside this home. So that's why this is input, and here we'll paste it. We don't We'll paste it, and instead of example we'll define it email. Okay, so how it will work actually, let me just required options for now, we can use it later, no matter. So let's show you a power thing. Okay, so if you just do this and uh, click here, inspect this, and then check your console. Okay, just okay, so if you type anything and for example submit here, then you can see we have a email field. What we will type, then it will just create a object. You can see this is the email field, and we just made this, and then we will just make the second one. The second one is actually where is the second one? So let me copy require. We will just use this way. We will create a objects way, and then this one will be password. Okay, so make sure the password text is okay. Now if you just define a password 12345 6 and hit login, then you can see it receives email passwords, and there is an extra fields. Okay, we will fix it. Example field, where is the example field? Taking example field. Let me check it. So is there any field required? Maybe there is additional example. Okay, no field are there. Maybe mm, okay, actually we are getting this true field that was required for our project, so that's why this is done. We can just make this way. But next what we will do, we'll just create a sign up page. If you hit, then nothing happens, so we will have to create a sign up page. So this way we can just make it a little bit different way. We will just hit this component and we will create a sign up component. So sign up.jsx will define RAFCE. Then actually it will be a different page, so that's why we need to set up routes. So we will go to the route sections, and this is router.jsx. Here let me format this code, shift alt F, and then we'll actually, here we have a routes, and we'll just choose a different route. So that's our uh, sign up page will have no footer, header footer, so that's why we will have sign up. Then we need to define an element, so element would be something like, okay, we will have to import sign up components. Okay, so now you can see, if you don't have accounts, you can click here, then you will go to the sign up page. We will just design it very simply. How you can do that, you can just copy maximum code from the model.jsx. Let me close this. You can just copy the whole form. Actually you can just copy okay, let me copy this whole form. We'll just copy this div, and then inside here we'll paste it. Here we'll have says something, so that's why we will just make sure it's imported. We'll have to copy other stuff at the top. Let me copy all it at the top. Okay, after then we need to define these two things. So we'll copy this and paste it inside sign up. Now it's okay, let's check it. Here is something, but we don't need this type of thing. So how we can fix it? Actually, to fix this, what we can do, we can actually let me just fix it. We'll just cart everything and then we'll take a new div. Inside this div we'll paste it here. So this is the parent div. Here we'll define a class name that would be max w, the max w md. Then we'll have busy white. Then we'll define shadow. Then we will have full width. Then max auto. Then we will define flex, item center, justify center, and margin my will be 20. So if you do this, then you can see this type of form is automatically created on this sign up page. So let's see it. Instead of sign up, instead of please login, we can define a create a accounts. Okay, I think this is fine. Then instead of this button, login button, so where is login button? Here we will define sign up, and we need to modify this text, actually this text. So how you can do that? Here we'll define have an accounts. Then you can just will have login. You will have login. But for this, actually we will just do a tricky thing. We actually show model. If you hit, then it's work nothing actually. Here we just make a little bit changes. We'll use button here instead of this link, so that we can show our model. So that's why we'll define button. We don't need to specify this too. And here actually what we can define this way actually. So here at the number we defined one click here. So that's where we will define this one click on these sections. So this is button, and here we will define actually the one click. So if you do this, then you can see when you hit nothing happens. Why? But because we have to import the model. So let me close everything. So this is the whole div. After this we will just define model. Okay, so now hope this will work. When you hit, then this is login page. When you hit here, it's nothing. But if you we need to define a close button. So when you click somewhere, it will be closed. So that's why. Okay, let's modify this model. Here we need a close button. So this is model, and we need a close button. So responsive. Then where is the close button? Something like close button. So this type of close button we need. So that's why we need this actually, this button. So on the model page we'll have form. Inside this form we will have a close button. You can just paste it anywhere. So let me choose this at the sign up button. Okay, so if you define this, then you can see here we have a button. If you hit close, nothing happens. So you can see nothing happens, but here actually a button is there. So if the button is there, how it will work? Actually, to work with this, we have to write something so that it will be closed. So how we can do that? I am covering advanced features, so it will be a little bit hard, but if you practice, then it will work. So this way you can actually define this close. We will have HTML for then we will define it will be for the model 5. So let me just copy this model 5, my model 5. So this is id, and we'll define inside this course model 5, and after then we will have one click, and the one click is similar to this. Okay, let me copy from here, and we'll include this one click on this cross button. Actually this cross button, instead of show on click, here we'll define close method. So here we'll just simply define close. Okay, so if you do this, then if you hit, then it's close. Okay, let's try it from the starting page. We have on the home page, if you click this login, then a login page will pop up. But if you haven't an account, you can go to the sign up page, hit here, then you will have a sign up page. You will have a sign up page. You can sign up, or here we need also a button. You can just copy this whole button and paste it there. Actually, where is the form? On sign up page, go to the sign up page, and then this is the form. So go at the end of this form. Okay, then actually paste this button. Now here is the button, but it will not work. Actually, instead of doing this, we can define link components. So that's why link components, and here we don't want to do this. We actually remove this. We'll just define a true will be from the home page. So that's why I think this is work. When you click here, then home page will load. So again, when you click this arrow, then it will load back to the home page. So hope this button you can able to do this type of design. So if this design is done, then next task is we have to implement Firebase and the authentication systems, and it's very easy, don't worry actually. So what you will do actually, so let me close this on, this thing and this thing we don't need, and next we'll go to the Firebase. You can just search Firebase, then you will have firebase.google.com. You will go there. From here, if you don't have accounts, you have to create an account. So otherwise you can just hit this get started. Firstly, you will have to add a project. That's why let me add a project. It's a let me define it, demo 2D clients. I am just defining a name. You can just type any name here. So let's create this projects. We don't need to enable Google Analytics. It's a demo projects, or it's our portfolio type project. So that's why we don't need Google Analytics. So hit create projects. It will take a few seconds. Wait until it completed. It's a very important part, so please watch it carefully. If you face any problem, just rewatch this video multiple times. Okay, when it's done, click this continue. So after a few seconds, it will redirect it to this page, and from this page we actually hit this web sections. So hit here, then it will say just add a nickname of your app. This is the same demo foodie client. Okay, you don't need to select this right now, we will just do that later. Just hit register app. Then it says the second task is we have to install Firebase. So let me copy this code and then open terminal again. And here our project is running. Let me close it. So that's why Control C to close it, and Y for terminate, and then paste this code npm install Firebase and install this code. Okay, after completing this, you can have npm run dev. So run npm dev. Okay, done. So the first thing is done. Then we have to paste this code to our project. So from here, we'll just create a new folder that would be named Firebase. Inside this Firebase, we'll just create another thing that would be firebase.config.js. So just make sure it's firebase.config.js. Inside this, we'll just paste it. Actually, watch this carefully. So here we paste this code. We have initialized our Firebase. We have Firebase config file here, and here we have app. We have to export it. So that's the export default, then app. If you want to export it, then you cannot access this app outside this component. So that's why we're exporting. Here the another important thing is we hide this config text. So here we have secret key, API key, we have domain name, we have projects and everything. So that's why we need to hide it. Okay, so for this we'll click this root folder actually. So root folder is how you can understand it. So let me close this. If you hit package.json, that means it's the root folder. Here we'll just create, I think, let me just use env byte environment variable byte. If you search byte environment variable, then you can just hide your secret code using this way. So let me go to this byte environment variable modes, and then this way you can have to define a thing here. This way you can just define env.local. If you won't watch it properly, then I am sure you will miss a lot thing, and when you clone these projects and work again, then it will not work. So that's why be careful. We'll create a file here, and that would be in env.local. So if you do this, then this way we can define our secret key. So that's why let me define this way. If you want to access this secret key, you can just do it by this way. So you have to use this way actually. So let me add it at on firebase.config. So if you do this, then let's check it. If you refresh your projects, then inspect it, then check console, refresh it. Maybe the the one is not showing. Actually we haven't used it others, so that's why. But I think this way it will work. So that's why let's refresh it. Firstly, we will just replace this code using .env. So that's why go here. Let me comments this on. What we will do, actually we'll copy this text and go to the file, and here we'll actually paste it. Okay, then we can need it to copy 1 2 3 4 5 6, but let me just do it. We'll have to paste this code. We don't need to use these double quotations. We only just copy this core code and paste here. Actually, we'll define void and then this API key, then this. Okay, so we can just copy this for multiple times, or you can just type manually. Let me type again. That would be void underscore, then we'll have auth domain, we'll paste this name, then we will have a equal sign. After then we'll copy this value and paste it here. Okay, you can just remove this space so that it will be something. Okay, the two is done. Then we'll have this on. Let me use it. Byte underscore this on, then we'll have equal sign, then we'll copy this project underscore id code. You can just copy it for multiple times, so that let me do it for multiple time. Then the third one is storage, so that's why let me just edit this storage, and the code is for storage, this code. After then we'll have messaging sending id. We'll just remove this and paste it here. We need to change it, this, copy this and paste it the value. After then the last one is about app id. Copy it here, paste it, and then we'll just copy the whole id, copy it, and here you have to paste it. If you do this, then that's okay, but let me just do a modify here. We'll just select it and press Ctrl Shift P and then make it uppercase, and again select it, Ctrl Shift P, then transform to uppercase. Do it for all. Ctrl Shift P, uppercase, Ctrl Shift P, uppercase, Ctrl Shift P, uppercase, and Ctrl Shift P, uppercase. Okay, fine. If you do this, then how to use it? Actually, you can use it by this way. You have to use this way, import meta. That's why let's do it. We don't need this code right now. We'll paste it here. I am pasting for every thing here. Just paste this, and then we don't need quotations actually. Then we have to paste the first value, it's API key. Make sure you are correctly pasting. I am just, this is API key, that means API key, so this way I just correct our code. And then we have byte auth domain, and that would be auth domain. After then we have project id, so that's why this is project id. Then we will have bucket, so here store bucket. Okay, let me just copy this store bucket, then we have copied this on messenger id. Okay, after then the last one, that would be app id. So this is app id. I think this is okay. If you are not sure, then you can copy it from localhost, but you won't get sorry, you can copy this from localhost, but when you are building projects you must have to replace this code, otherwise it won't work. Actually, what you can do, you can replace this config. Actually, how you can do, actually from your Firebase authentication system you will copy this code, and you have to just replace this code and export app, export default app. You will do this, otherwise it won't work. So that's why, let me go back again. We don't need this. We will just enable the security system, so that's why. Okay, So your task will be, you will replace this code, otherwise your projects will won't work with my code. I will keep it secrets. Okay, fine. If you do this, then our Firebase is done, but we are going to use React auth. So that's why let me type, go to React context. So if you go to the context, so go to the website, it's the previous websites. Okay, let's try it. Okay, create context, go to these websites, and here actually we are just going to create context. So this is context page, and it's very helpful to manage props. So managing props, we can create this thing very easily. So here we will import create context and then can use it. So we will do that right now. So how you can do this? You can go back on this src. Let me close everything. We don't need any of this right now. Let me clear everything. From here we'll click this src and then we'll just type context. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just created a file. We will create a folder. So let me delete it again. Click this src and create a folder that will be context. Inside this context, what we'll have auth provider .js. Inside this context folder, we will have a component that will be auth provider. So here we will define RAFCE. Okay. So this is done. Then what we can do? Firstly, actually, here at the top of this, we'll define a auth context. So we'll define it const. Just watch it very careful. It's very important thing also. Auth context, and then we'll just call it create context. We'll create a context. So create context from React. We'll have to use this parenthesis. So we just created a auth context, and here we have to export it. So that's why export. We just create a auth context and export it. So that's fine. Then here actually we'll just receive some children. So that's why children are n, and then instead of this div, actually instead of this div, we'll just return auth context dot provider. Then we will close it, and inside here we'll pass the children. Actually we're creating some children and pass children, and here we will have a value. And then let me define something here at the top. We'll define const auth info, then it will be an objects, and we will pass these objects as a value here. So then okay, our task is, let me create a user. So we can just create a user, and that would be user, and then set user. Here we'll define user state, and that would be by default null. Okay, so when you have user created, then you can pass it from here. So if you do this, then you can get access these users from every pages. So if you want to check it, but before that you have to define, you have to use it on your so maybe okay, this is the children passing, and we have to define the okay, let me check it. Is there, the code is there? You can just go it react auth auth context. Just search it and let me check it, is there any git repository. Okay, if not, then no problem. What we can do, we'll go to the main.jsx. Here we have router provider. We will cut it for now, and then we'll just define, we'll just define what we can do actually. We'll define auth provider. We'll just define auth provider, and we'll just paste it here. Inside this auth provider, we'll paste our router provider. We will modify these only. We'll use auth provider. Let me just do it again so that you can just check it. We have previously this way, these states. So previously we have router provider here. We'll cut this, so that's why mark it and press Ctrl X to cut this. Here we'll use auth provider, import it, then we'll just close it. Inside this we'll paste our router provider. So if you do this, then that's fine. So hope now you can get access the users from any page. Okay, let's try it from the navbar. So inside these components we have navbar. So let me try, can we get users? So that's why here at the top we'll define const, and then we'll have users. So this is the text. We'll define users and we'll just use context, and we'll pass the value auth context. So auth context is this. You can see here we define auth context. So that's why we're passing this auth context here. And if you just console log user, then you can see, can go your website, refresh it. Now you can see this is null from this number. But if you define a value, for example here we'll have a string value joy for now. Okay, you can see this is joy, and you can access it from nav.jsx. This way you can use this context very simply and do all things very easily. You can just management your state. Yeah, you can, if you read this, then you can just understand it properly. So this is for proofs dealing, and it will be very handy. You don't need to much worry about this. You can easily use this. Okay, so now let me just go back to the previous way. Okay, so that's thing, the first one is done. Then what we can do, we actually make sure we have other setting is done. Actually if you go to your Firebase authentication system, then here let me close this, and then what we can do now, we'll enable some authentication system. So that's why we'll hit this build, then authentications. From here we'll just hit this get started. We have to enable some providers. So firstly we'll enable email authentications, save it. You can have another authentication, that will be Gmail authentications, and you have to configure a email with it. Okay, then the next one you can just enable Facebook, GitHub, and everything. It's your task actually. I will show only the Gmail authentications. Okay, so if you do this, the next task is you will have to go to the documentations. Go to the documentations. From here actually there is a build, and under this build you will have authentications. Click here. From here what you can do, you will go to this web tab, click here, and you can just hit this get started. Firstly, this way we have to initialize our Firebase auth. So we'll just copy, we can just copy this line, or you can just copy this line. You can just do anything. Let me copy this. We'll include it at the top of the auth provider, and then we have to just copy this, and where we'll actually paste it. After this context, auth context, we'll paste it, and we'll have to import this app. So that's why let me import app. By default the app is not imported. We can just import it by using this way. We'll just import app from, then we'll define dot slash, then we'll have firebase slash, then firebase.config. This way we can just import our app. So what is created, then what we can do after, then let me define a loading state. So that's a const. Here we'll have loading, then set loading, then we will have use state, that would be true for now. Okay, so after then, so if you have do this, how you can create, we'll just create all our context and can get access from other components. So that's why to create a new authentication, to create a new users, you can just click this password authentication, then look, create password based accounts. So this way you can just create a new accounts. So you have to pass auth, email and passwords, then this is the method. Okay, let's do it here. Firstly, we'll comment it, create an accounts. So here we'll define const create users, then we will pass some method here. That would be first one is look, here we will receive what password and email, but the what is here, we will just actually password these two things, email and passwords, then we'll have arrow, here we will have a curly braces, and we'll actually define loading, set loading, that would be true. And then here what we can do, or you can just not to define it, we don't need to define it, we actually do it globalized. So that's why here from here we'll return what we can return, we can just return this method, actually can copy it and paste it here. We have to import it, so that's why import it from Firebase auth. Okay, so here it will receive auth, it will email, passwords and everything, but from here we don't do this part. From here we will keep it blank, and we will do it from outside of these components. So here actually we will have return, then create users with email, passwords, and here we'll pass three things, auth, email, password. So if you do this, then you can just copy this and here use a comma and pass here. So now this way you can receive it from any component. So the task is done. You can just create an account using this function. Then we'll have another function that will be for sign up with Gmail accounts. Okay, for this we will just define const, that would be sign up with Gmail. It will be a function. Then let me check how you can just do enable Google. So here you can click Google, then if you scroll a little bit, you have to create a provider. So you can just copy this, you can just initialize provider under this auth, it will be Google provider. So that's why we'll name Google, and that would be provider, and we have to install it. So that's why Google provider. Okay, fine. Then the next task is you have to do this way. So if you scroll a little bit, then you can see we have sign up with pop-up, and we will have two things. Then we have the whole code. We'll only copy these sections for now. Inside these functions, we'll paste it here. We'll have to import sign up with pop-up, and here actually instead of provider, we'll define this Google provider. Okay, and we have to must return it, so that's why return. And finally we have to pass it from this auth info. Okay, then the second one is still done. You can just enable seat loading, but we don't need that. So if this two thing is done, then next one is actually login using email and password. We will enable login using email and passwords. So for this, you can see we have password authentications. So where is the login? Oh, this is create method. This is sign in with email and password. So this way actually. So let's define a function here, const. The function would be login. Then it will have a arrow functions. Then we'll have curly braces. The method is it will receive two things: sign in with email passwords, and it will receive these three things. So that's why we'll password these three things, import this, and then here you can see this is the error. So that's why we'll send some props that will be email and then password. Okay, now the error has gone. From here we have to return it. That's why return it. So this is very simple. I think you can understand this way. If you not, then you can just copy this. So when it's done, we will also pass this login from here. That's why login. So after this thing, what we can do, we will have logout functionality, how a users can log out. Okay, so this will be const log out, and here will be a functions. These functions will have this. Okay, so how anyone can log out? So this is the logout way. It will on receive an auth. So let me, okay, and here we only enable a thing that would be, okay, we don't need to do that. And the final one is we have to update profile functionality. So that's why we'll define const update user profile. Then it will have this and then arrow, and then inside it, let me check the update profile. So here you have to go to manage users. Then on the right side you can see set a user profile, get a user profile, or you can, if you scroll a little bit, you will find get a user profile. You can just, okay, okay, this is the update methods, update user profile. So we'll have to call this. We can just copy the whole thing from here and then paste it from here. We have to import it, and we don't include then and cast block here. So here actually we want to pass name and photo URL from here, and instead of hard coded, actually we will just define name here, and instead of photo URL, this is hard coded, we'll just enable photo URL here. Okay, we must have to return it, and make sure you pass this. We forget to pass logout, so that's why let me define logout. So I think most of the case is done, but finally we have to manage our users, so that's is very important. You can just manage users. So if you search something like auth statements on auth, so if you search on auth statements, then you can see manage users this way, or you can just go back there. Let me show you where the text is on the manage users. Here actually on auth, so get currently user signed in, you will check if the user is signed in or not. So that's why this is the method. We'll just do this way, and we will make it inside a, let me add comment that it would be for 6 signed in user. We can just define it check signed in users. So we will use a use effect hook here, then we'll have a empty dependency, and here we'll have a anonymous functions. So arrow functions here, then we have curly braces here. This is the way you will just check on auth state change. Paste it here. We have to input it. You are getting an error, so why this error actually? Let me try again. Curly braces, then we can copy this, and paste it here. We have to import it. Okay, fine, now it's working. So here what we actually do, we'll define a function. So we'll define a variable here actually on. So let me define on subscribe. So here we will define this way, and if user, we can define current user here. So we'll check if current users here, then we will just define here actually, let me remove all the text. We'll just define set user will be our current user. Okay, so will be our current users, copy it and paste it inside here. So if the user is found, then we can just set users. Here we have a state that would be set users, so we'll just set this user, then we'll define set loading false. Okay, then else then we don't actually need this. We can just, okay, keep it there. So after then what we can do, we can just return it, return, then we will just return a functions, then we will have curly braces, and we'll return this on actually. So we'll return unsubscribe. Okay, this is done. Our auth provider is appropriately done. So if this auth provider is done, then we have to enable our authentication system. So let me just close these on. Okay, this one. From here we will go to the model. Here actually we will firstly enable authentication system using Gmail account. So here you will have a Gmail button. We'll just enable this. So firstly, this is the login or login model page. From here, what we can do, firstly we have to use this way. So we'll define const and we'll just import something from use context hook, and that would be what context. Okay, so what we want to get, firstly, for enabling authentications using, let me just give it here, enabling authentication using Gmail account. So here is the Gmail accounts. We sign up with Gmail, we will pass this value here actually. So then look, where is the button? So this is Google button. So we want to enable Google login. Okay, that's why we'll define on click here, and we will define handle login for now. We'll just copy it, and then after this actually let me define Google sign in. So here we'll define const these functions. It receive nothing, then it will have arrow, and what we'll pass these on. Look, these will pass actually two things. It will receive two things. Go back a little bit. It will receive nothing, but if you go back here, go to Google, then this way we can use. So okay, so we can use this way. We have auth provider and do all of this stuff. So that's why we can use this way. We will call these functions. You can see we can call these functions, and then we have to define this then state. So that's why you can just copy this then states. Okay, then and catch actually. So let me define then here. We'll define a then here. Then it will receive results. Then we'll have a arrow here, then we will have curly braces, and inside this curly braces we will get user. So that would be user equal, will define results. Inside this results we will have a user. So if users, you can just show an alert, that would be login successful. Okay, let's try this. If not, then we'll have a catch block. So that would be dot catch. We will just check error. Then if any error found, we'll just define console log this error. Okay, so this is done. I think let's try it. We'll hit this login, then we want to enable these authentications. Okay, click here. So you can see a pop-up is opened and it says choose your accounts. So let me choose my accounts. Click here. Now it says login successful. Okay, and if you go back and check your users tab, then you can see one users is created right now. Let me just delete it again and let me show you again. It's very simple. I just clear everything from here, and again we are hitting here we'll just click this, then choose this accounts, login created. Okay, refresh it, then a user is created. And most importantly, if you checked your console and refresh it, then you can see a user is there, a account is created, and you can see this is from number. So we are able to create users from actually Google sign in method. So you can see this is my name, this is email, and we have photo URL. We will just show it a little bit later, but I think you can just understand how this will work. We'll actually define all our functions on this auth provider, then we can just call it from anywhere by this way using use context, and we'll provide this auth context. After then we'll do anything. Okay, let's do it. Let's enable this login. So for this login we'll have a methods login using this method. Actually we'll copy this and we will also receive it from auth context. So here we will have all PDF functions. So let me just here actually let me a curly braces. So why this is not, so let me cut it and take curly braces and paste it here. Instead of this we can just define const email equal data dot email, and after then we'll define const password, and that would be data dot password. Okay, so if this you can just console log email password. Okay, let's try it. Refresh this, hit here we'll define this. Let me define a password and hit login. Then you can see this is user email and this is password. So if this is okay, then you can see here the login method will call these functions and then it will pass these two props. And okay, so that's why let me comment out this. Here we'll call this login, then you will pass these two things, email and password. After then, so you can go back to, you don't need to memorize anything, you can just check it on documentations. You will go to password authentications. From here we will actually this is sign in with, okay, this is sign in methods, and you can just copy this string. Okay, and or you can just manually do this. Let me show you it manually. It's very simple. We'll have it then we'll just check results, then we will have an arrow here, then we will have curly braces. Here we'll actually get a user. So const user equal result dot user, then actually we can just show an alert. So the same alert would be something like login successful. Okay, that's it. And after then, if anything error, then you can just type a catch block that would be receive an error. You can just console log this, or you can just define const error message equal error dot message. After then you can just check, you can just right now we can just define an state and just try to catch this error. So that's why let me define const error message, then set error message. I'm just trying to catch this error and just want to show it. Use a straight, then that would be empty string. Okay, so we'll just define when error is found, we'll set it on the state, and that would be we'll define provide a correct email and password. Okay, so this way you can just handle it. Okay, so what you can show, you can show it error at this point. So let me show it the error. If any errors found, we'll check these error messages. If error message found, then we can do define a paragraph tag and we'll just define set error message. Otherwise we'll just do nothing. Okay, so here we'll define class name, that would be text thread, then text x is extra small, and then we will have define italic. Okay, so uh, let's try it. We'll hit here, we'll just do this, and then let me define anything. So if you hit, nothing happens. Actually we don't have any users. So when we have users, then we can just do it, otherwise you will get an error. So let's complete our sign up page for now. So for the sign up, after completing the sign up page, we can just do it. Okay, so here actually we'll just do the same thing. You can just copy lots of things here. Firstly, you will can just define these on at the sign up page, and instead of this we have to import these on, then import auth. Then actually for the sign up we have actually create users, so that's why we'll copy this create users and we'll just instead of Gmail users we'll just check it. After there we'll just cut it, we'll have curly braces, and then we'll have the similar like this on. We'll receive email passwords from here, then we'll have to call this actually. So let me check it here, create users, so that's why. So where is the create users? Maybe it's get started. So if you click there, you can see this is the way we will pass email passwords, and then this way. So that's why. Okay, let's create users, call it. We'll need to pass email and then password. Then we can just copy the then and catch block from there. Then and catch block from there. Instead of user credential, we will just define results. So it's very simple. You can keep that, no problem. So if then we will want to show an alert, that would be that would be something like sign in successful. Okay, so we'll show an alert. Or we can define accounts creation successfully done. Okay, we want to show this alert, no problem. So let's try it. we will create an accounts. Right now you can see we have only on accounts, but now we want to create an accounts. So go to sign up, then we'll have to give a username. Let me define a password, then click here. It says account creation successfully done. Okay, so if this account creation successfully done, let me close this and okay, let's log in. So for this login we will have this, and firstly try to check it using a wrong passwords. It's seen nothing. We can just show error. Actually we can set error. So why this error is not showing? It shows an error. Let me check here, refresh it. We'll have the account is created. Yeah, account is created. Let me just try it again. Login, Gmail, password. Then you can see the error, but it's not showing here. So let me fix it here. This is the model. Set error. Okay, error message. Getting error message. Why this is not shown actually? Oh, here we just define set error message. It will be error message. So I think now it will show. Okay, so refresh it. Let me log into this accounts. Hit here. Then you can see the error is, you can see the error. Provide a correct username password. So the error is shown properly. You can just remove some space from here. We can just define 4 or 5 for now. Now if you just trying with proper accounts, email and passwords, then click here. Then it can says login successful. Okay, so we have accounts created. You can just check it from here. We have user template. That means our account is created, and that is from moon.moon.com. So that's why it's properly created, but our website is not redirecting. So that's why we make sure our website is redirecting properly. So how you can do this? So here actually for redirecting, we can just catch this current location. So const location equal use location. We can import it from React router DOM. Then we will call it. After that we will use navigate. So that's why navigate equal, we'll use navigate, and that would be this. We'll use these two method, and lastly we'll define from. Okay, for readability, let me comments. Redirect, directing to home page or specific page. Okay, this is redirecting. Here we'll define const from, then we'll define location dot state. Then if state, then we'll just define from. Then we'll check if they are from, then we'll check path name. Then otherwise we'll have a pipeline. Then otherwise we'll just send it to home page. If inside this location, if state is there, and then you can find this from, then you will check path name. If path name, then you will set the path name, otherwise you will should set the root directory. So after defining this, what we can do when login successful and the alert is showing, Then we will actually define navigate, then we'll just take a curly braces, we'll define from, and then we'll have a object that will be replace, and that will be true. Okay, let's try again, refresh it. Okay, I'm trying it with the wrong passwords, so the error has shown. Now let me try with a correct password. Successful. It's not redirecting, so maybe we can, oh, we are using model, so that's why not redirecting, but you can just fix it easily. Here you can just define the close thing. So where is the close button? I think, okay, you can just call these actually. After this alert and before this navigate from, we will paste it. Okay, so now try it, login. Okay, now the page has gone. Actually we're using model, so that's why the error was there. Let me try it again. Click there, login successful, and now it's on home page. So our section is working, but you can also do it for the sign up page. Also you can just define it also for the sign up page. You can just define it at the top. Let me import it, then you can just define it. After then you can just use this way. Actually you will just make replace true. So after this alert you can show replace true. So, and you can also make replace true when actually you can just showing this also. Okay, I think this is fine. So our sign in sections also done, and you can just go to the login page. You can close any of these. So this sign up account creation and accounts setup is done. So Firebase authentication section is done, but for now we will explore another thing actually here. So if you have accounts, so when you hit this, then let me just log into an accounts. So this is my accounts. It will shows my pictures, and when you hit, then it will show some of the thing. So that is our main task. We're going to build this is now. So so if this sign in section is done, let me close everything. We don't need to make that. We'll go to the navbar. So if we have users, we will do a thing. If we have users, then we can want to show that. So that's why, where is the login button? Here we have login button. So if users, then we want to show this. So that's why, let me cart is, we will take a curly braces, if user, then যদি user থাকে we will just show, let me just show a paragraph for now. P tag, that would be log out. Otherwise then shows this button. Okay, let's try it from here. If you have users, then you will see this logout button, and otherwise you can see users. Okay, so this will be fixed right now, so we can just do it right now. So for this, actually here we are using this hard coded data, but we will create a component that would be profile.jsx. We'll take array-fce, and from here actually we'll receive the user profs. So that would be user, and instead of this p, that's we'll just simply want to show, we'll want to use, sorry, so let me clear, we'll want to import profile, and here we'll have to pass a prof, so that would be user equal users. If user find, we'll pass this user from here, so otherwise it will show something. Okay, so if that, then what you can do, you can just design this profile sections. So from where, so this is profile sections, and here inside this div we'll go to daisy UI, and then we'll check these components. From here we'll find something like, can just go a little bit down, then drawer, you can see something like this here. So when you hit, then you can this type of thing we need, you can see when you hit, then this type will open, so that would be on the right side. So that's why we'll find this type of thing. If you just choose this on, then you can see this type of, we'll copy this one, we'll copy the whole div, and here on this profile sections we'll just inside this profile text we'll paste it there. Okay, so now try it. So we have a drawer. If you click, then you can see the 8 is at the top, but we can just fix it. We can just make it define z index 50 or something like. Okay, now that's fine. We can just define here, that would be something like profile, then the second one would be order, then you can just copy others, then third one would be settings, then you need another one that would be something like log. Okay, it's not there, you will just use log out here, log out. Okay, now check here, when you hit, then these options are shown there, and when you just click anywhere, then it will gone. So actually we'll need this type of paragraph, this type of image, so that's why we'll go to the hero sections, we'll go to the hero sections, oh hero, sorry, we'll go to the navbar. So navbar, there you can find this type of image. So this is an image, this is another image, we can check any of this image. So where is the image? Maybe maybe we can get it from here. It's simple. After then we will have a label. We can copy this actually. So copy this image, and instead of this, actually inside this label we'll paste this on. So let's check it. There is some image, we can remove color, so that would be remove the button color. So let's try it here, something like, but what we can do, we can customize it. Button drawer button, that would be button. We can define button ghost, button something like ghost. Okay, after then we'll define button circle. Okay, that would be avatar. So we'll define these classes here: button ghost, button circle, and avatar. So my thing, now this is fine. So we want to show my image instead of this image. When you click, then you will see these options, but instead of this image we want to show my image. So that's why here, instead of this src, we can use curly braces, then user, then okay, uh we'll define photo url. So that would be photo url. Okay, let's check it. So the image is not properly shown. Let me check. Then we will have a user template. Then actually we don't have image on photo url. You can see the photo url is empty, so that's why it's not showing proper image. So how you can fix it? So let me just uh remove these users. So for now, let me remove these users. So if these users has not gone, then we will have login button. Let me click here and enable this on. Then you can see my image is there. My image is there. Okay, so here we can just do a little bit functionality here. What we can do, we'll check something like there. So we will cut it and then we will take a curly braces. We'll check if user does photo url found, then we'll set it, otherwise we'll have another this. So instead of here we would like to use a avatar. So or you can just show these images from this image. You can just show these images from the stock footage. You can just paste it from here. So okay, I think this will work when there is no user. So let me remove this my account. So let me remove my accounts and refresh it. You can see it says login when you just create an account with this, then sign up, create the, then you can see the by default image is showing. Otherwise if you have image, then your image will be shown there. Okay, so by this way, next actually what we can do, if you refresh, then you can see by default it's showing login. You will have to fix this. You can just fix it very simply. How you can do it actually? I will show the power. So look, when you refresh, it's by default showing a loading effects here. If you just scroll, if you check at the middle of this, then you can see a loading is there. When loading is complete, then you can see this. So this way you can fix it. How? Okay, so that's way we can now close this on, this on. What we will do, we'll go to our layout, and there is our layout. And so if you go to layout sections, and then actually we will just check login, we will just get login from use context. So use context, and then we will have both context. So here we will actually get loading. You can see your auth context, that will be a loading state. So that's why we are getting to try to get this loading. So if loading, then here actually inside this background we'll actually cut it and make it inside a div, paste it there, and we'll check if loading, যদি loading, if loading, then we will show a loading here, loading otherwise will show this div actually. It's very simple. If you have knowledge, then it's very simple. Okay, now let's check. By default, this is our website. Refresh. Now you can see a loading is okay. Maybe it's not working. So maybe we didn't pass it. So that's why it's not working. We have to pass it from here. So let me pass it from here. So hope working. When you refresh, then a loading is there. But for our websites, you can see a loading is at the center. So how you can do it is very simple. So in a stage of this way, we'll just create a loading component. So that's why loading spinner in our .jsx. Here we are creating a loading spinner and we will import it from here instead of this. So we'll just import loading spinner from here. So we'll design this loading spinner. We'll have some loading spinner on Tailwind CSS websites, or you will have these from here actually. You can see where is the loading actually. You can see the progress, and then here you can see the loading. You can see skeleton, like this type of skeleton will there. You can use this one. So copy this on, then you can just paste it inside this. So if you have, then now if you refresh, then the loading is there, you can see. But if you want to move it to the center, then you have to add class name. That would be is screen, then it will be flex item center, justify center. Now I think it will shown at the middle. Refresh it. Our net speed is fine, so that's why you cannot see properly, but I think it will work. So our task is almost done. So now we have to create a private router. So that's why we'll just remove all of this. So for creating private routers, we'll hit this src, and then it's very simple actually to create private route. So that's why we will actually name create a folder. So that's why we'll create private router. Then inside this folder we'll create a file that would be private router .csx RAFCE. Then here actually our task is we want to gauge our users from this auth provider. So that's why we'll define const, and we'll just it from use context. Then we want to get auth context. Here we would like to get the user and the loading. Actually we will get this true thing from the auth context. So here how you can do this. So then we'll check locations. We will just use location. Location equal to use locations. Why it's not getting? We can just input it from, if not getting, then we can input it from React router. So from React router DOM. So use, I think we can get it now. Use location. Okay, use locations, called it there. So what then? We'll check if, then loading, if loading. So if website is loading, then we can just return. What we will return, we'll actually return a component, so that would be our loading spinner. So we will have loading spinner. Where is it's inside this status. So let me open it on tab, then we will just import loading spinner, and we'll return this loading spinner. And if we get user, then if user found, then we'll return children. We can just CILDREN, children. So right now the children is not there, so we'll have to receive it using these props. So that's why here we'll define these props. So if user find, we'll return children. And then finally here actually we'll just use, let me delete this. We'll use navigate from React router DOM. Then we'll just pass here where to navigate. Firstly we'll send to login. So we don't have login page, we can just send it to sign up page. And then we can just define a state, and here we'll just pass an object that would be from we that would be fr from, and we will be location, will have locations. So after this defining a state, we'll just define replace. So how it will work actually? So if then we'll go to the, where you can go to the, so for example you will go to the routers. So by default without login, if you want, you cannot see people the menu. For example, I am just going to show it how you can use. We have to use private route, and then if you pass your menu inside here, then without login anyone cannot see this menu. So look, let me just, okay, there is another thing, we didn't enable logout. So let me just do it very simply. From where we will just do it, we'll create it inside this profile. So here we'll have logout, we'll define a button. So on click handle logout. So let me just do it very simply. We'll just call it from here const logout, then it will be a function, it will okay. So for this we'll receive const, then we'll use context hook, and that would be received AuthConext. So AuthConext, and here we'll actually getting, so where is the AuthConext? Okay, auth provider, we'll just log out. So that will be logout. We'll call logout. Then actually let me check how to log out. So if you click here, then I think you will find this logout. Where is this logout? Maybe it's at the bottom or something. Okay, get it started. Okay, we got to get that. So this is on a stage. Where is logout actually? Maybe inside this password authentications. Okay, this is sign out. We'll just pass the, okay, we can just define this way. When successful, you can show an alert, and then it will be log out. So I think everything is working, but when you hit this logout button, then it's logout. You can just sign up with your Gmails. So I hope everything is working. You can see we have included logout handle here. Actually, this is logout handle, and hope everything is fine and clear. Right, you. Then for the next, actually here, if you go back to your websites, then you can see we have a update profile page, and the profile page is similar like this. So that's why we will create a specific uh, providers. So that's why let me close everything, and from here we will just define when someone click here, then we'll define to a path that would be update profile root. So that would be the path, and that's why we'll create a component for this. So it will be inside these pages, and there we'll create a dashboard page, or can define it a user dashboards, anything you can do it. Update profile page .jsx array fce, and from here actually we'll now set up a route for this. So route will be here after this menu. Here we'll define path would be slash update profile, and here we'll actually define element that would be update profile. Here we made an extra slash. Let me remove it. So hope we can just, when you click profile, then you will go to this page, and actually this page will be designed similar like this also. That's why from here, from this, we'll just go to the hero sections again, and then we'll actually copy this from. So copy the whole card from here. So, and then you can just paste it here at the top. Now if you check back, then you can see, let me close here, you can see this is there. So we need to make it center, so that's why we'll cut it again and take another div. Inside this div we'll paste it here. We'll define class name, then it will be flex items center, justify center, is sprint. Okay, let's check it. Now I think this is okay. So here we don't need to define this type of thing. We will actually want to gauge, this will be name, and here we'll define type will be text. We'll define it name, your name here, then okay, fine. Here the one will be photo, upload photo. Okay, and actually here right now we will use text, and that would be photo URL. Okay, then update. Okay, here we can add, if you want, then you can add AS3, that would be update your profile. Okay, so you can add some styling. That would be, you can find font bold or something like this. I think okay, fine. Here we can change the color, busy green, and text will be white. Okay, I think that's fine. We can remove this button primary. We don't need to make sure it's button primary. Okay, fine. So right now, actually, we don't implement like this, but you can simply do that. So from here, you can just file input field, and there you can find this type of thing. You can just get it, this one, and instead of doing this, instead of, sorry, instead of this input field, actually, so this is email and this is, okay, here I actually paste this. So this way, so let me just hide this. So if you do this, then you can see there is a upload option, so we don't need this uh this level actually. So let me remove this. So if you do this, you will have an upload option like this way, but we don't do it right now. Actually, when we are completing our backend, then we will just implement where to host our pictures. So right now we will just use this way. We will use a URL to host this photo. So that's why we don't need it right now. So as usual, what you can do, you can just use the same way. You can just go to the React router, React hook form, React hook form. So you will go there and do it anyway. We did it sometimes. So there's so what we will go, we'll just hit this get started button. Get started button, and then so first we will have to import this form, input it, then we'll include this text at the top. Okay, fine. Then we'll have this on submit. We'll have on submit. Then what we can do, we'll have to define handle on submit on the from tag. So where is the from tag? This is from tag. Here we'll define on submit, and every time we'll have a required field. So that would be the for the first on this input field. Here we'll define it will be name, and here it will be photo URL, photo URL. Okay, so we commented there. To do here uploading image will be later. Okay, then if you do this, then you have to just use a curly braces here. We'll just receive const name equal data dot name, then we'll have photo URL. So photo URL equals, we'll have photo URL. Okay, if you have done this, then what you can, if you check your auth provider, then you have a specific functions here. So update photo URL, you will call it from here, from these functions. So call it, and it will have to import. So that's why const, then have curly braces. Here we will define use context, then we will have AuthConext, then we'll just pass this use update user profile, and it will receive two things. Look, it will receive email and photo URL. It will receive email and photo URL. Then from there, update users, where is it is on main manage users. So then you will have update users. Here actually we'll call it, and then we'll just include this then and catch block, then and catch block. Okay, let's try to do it. Firstly, here actually it's not my it's on my profile, we don't want it. We can just go there and try to log in moon. Here this is the password, login successfully. So we don't have image, it's a default image, we don't want this image, so that's why we'll hit this profile. And then you will have, we'll define the name. This one on be maybe what zone. Let me define Emma Watson, and here we want to use a image. For example, let me choose a image, avatar image. Then we can choose this type of image for now. Okay, so go there. Maybe where is the image? Okay, so we are not getting this image. So what you can do, we can choose a image from Unsplash. So let me choose a image from Unsplash. Here we can just search profile image and choose any of this profile. Maybe we choose her profile. Okay, we can just choose copy image address, and now here we actually paste it here. If you hit this update button, then you see nothing, and if you refresh this, then you can see the image is there. You can also redirect it, but it's very simple. We have did it multiple times. You can just see this way you can redirect is you can just copy it and then include it any of here. Actually you can just include it. You have to import this on, and when it's done you have to just navigate it, replace row. So just when it's done, just navigate it, replace row. Okay, fine. Now hope, I think you can update your image and names. If you inspect it, then you can see refresh it, then the error has gone. Then here you can see the name is Emma Watson and this is the image. And now hope you can update your profile right way. Okay, so that's today. Next we will start our backends.